Inside the stories that affect you. This is Inside KELOLAND.
I'm Perry Groten. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on this week's Inside KELOLAND, we're talking back to school. We sit down with the superintendent, Brian Maher, to see how the Sioux Falls School District is preparing for the first day of school. And we'll also talk with him about the future of the district with 2 new schools being built. Then we're previewing the upcoming Celebrating Families event that makes sure every kid has new socks and underwear before school starts. How you can donate to that cause and others straight ahead. Well, we start with Sioux Falls School Superintendent Brian Maher. Thanks for joining us for Inside KELOLAND.
My pleasure, Perry. Thanks so much.
What's going on right now with the district as far as getting everything prepared for the start of school, which is a little over 2 weeks away right now?
Yeah. It's 2 weeks from this Thursday, so it'll be here before you know it. In terms of what's going on, I would say in some instances typical. We've got administrators all have reported back. Teachers will all report back soon. But so many of our teachers are already in their classrooms and getting them prepared and ready to go. Really, it's a kind of business as usual in August, which means it's really hectic and we're getting everything done at the last minute.
Is there an issue with do teachers have to kind of start relearning things too, like in some ways this kids have for being off of school for so long?
Oh, sure. I think we all do. Now, I don't think they need to relearn their curriculum. I don't think they need to relearn how to deal with people. But I think, our policies are always in flux. Our regulations are always in flux. So there's some of those relearnings that take place. Our curriculum does change from year to year, so there are some nuances there. But our best and brightest will still be our best and brightest.
Sure. And new this year is a junior kindergarten. Can you explain what that is involved?
Yeah, one of the things we've been trying to do for years now, Perry, is to make sure that our kids are reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade. And in order to do that, we've done many, many, many things. One of those things is really trying to make sure that kids are on grade level when they come to us, when they begin school. And for so many of our kids, they don't have those opportunities. So we've provided many, many more opportunities for kids. This year, that manifested itself in the advent of junior kindergarten for our district. So for some, that'll be, if I'm a parent of a child who maybe is turning 5 late, and I'm not quite ready to send them to school, junior kindergarten is going to be a great gap for that parent. So hopefully we'll help families, we'll help our community, and in the end we'll help those kids be ready for school a year from now.
Is there still time for parents to enroll their child in
There
junior
is. I'm really glad you asked that question. There is still time. There is still room in junior kindergarten, or at least as of Friday, there was still room. For anybody who's interested in that, I would drive them towards our website, and you'll be able to find a link to get them to the information on junior kindergarten. If you're not comfortable navigating that world, call us down at the central office, and we'll help you with that.
Yeah. Another change for the coming this year is the changes in the schedule for the arts and physical education and music. Talk about that.
One of the things I would say is every year our schedules change. This past spring, the emphasis on changing the schedule got a lot of conversation, particularly because it impacted art, music, and PE. And I think we've gone through most of those dynamics. I think most people are ready for the school year to get started. And I think it's incumbent upon us as a district to make sure that that is a smooth transition, but also to really review how that goes over the course of this first year or first couple of years as we get accustomed to a new way to do business. We're still going to teach art. We're still going to teach PE. We're still going to teach music. We're still going to teach math and English and so forth. So our emphasis on developing the whole child hasn't changed. The amount of minutes that we have in particular for different disciplines, that's changed a little bit.
Another big issue that's been happening this summer, we've had incidences of gunshots fired in certain neighborhoods, especially in the Washington High School area. Is the school district going to be taking steps to address safety in the fall?
First of all, I'll say you really know how to switch directions in a hurry there. And I don't mean to make light of that, because absolutely we're concerned about that. One of the things I would say is whenever you see things in the community, you're going to see it in our schools. When you see that violence, that that that's a little bit scary for all of us. You see it in our school. We don't see the gunshots. We don't see the weapons. At least we haven't yet. And I think part of the reason for that is our tremendous relationship with our school resource officers specifically, but the city of Sioux Falls in general. We have a great relationship. We get information, I think, as up to date as you can get it. We have a direct line of communication all the way from the chief through many of the officers that work in our schools. So we do a good job of staying ahead of those issues that we can stay ahead of, and we're prepared to react the best we can to issues that we need to react to.
And you can assure parents that their kids are safe when they go to school every day.
I can tell you my kids are grown now, but if my kids were prepared to go to any of our schools today, I would feel comfortable sending them to any of our schools.
Another change this year is the motto, "In God We Trust," are going to be required by law to be posted in all public schools. So how has that been going so far?
Yeah, well, so far so good. But at this point, really all we've done is we've met the letter and the intent of the law. By July 1, we had the posters up in our buildings, and those are up. And we haven't had any real questioning or pushback yet on that topic. It's possible that we will when our buildings get busier here in a few weeks.
Okay. Well, stay with us. We're going to be continuing our conversation with Brian Maher about the future of the school district as crews start construction on 2 new schools. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Inside KELOLAND. Superintendent Brian Maher joins us again as we prepare you for the first day of school. Now, we've been talking a lot about the upcoming school year, but there's a lot happening for the future of the school district as well, including 2 new schools. Dr. Maher, how is the construction progressing on Jefferson High School and the Ben Rifle Middle School?
Really good. In June, we had the ceremonial groundbreaking for Jefferson High School, and in July, we had the ceremonial groundbreaking for Ben Rifle Middle School. So they're both kicked off from a ceremonial standpoint. Maybe more important at this time is to know that there's a lot of dirt work and a lot of excavation going on. So we're on time and on budget for the beginning of that long process of building those buildings.
How will those buildings change those neighborhoods that they're impacted?
That's a great question. We're anxious to see what that looks like, because there's the potential for a great amount of development in both of those areas. So. Clearly, we think it's been shown over time that if you build it, they will come. Yep. So I suspect that both of those areas will develop.
And when do you start hiring staff for those 2 new schools?
Yeah, well, we'll hire, the first position that we'll hire will be the high school principal for Thomas Jefferson High School. And we'll hire that person in late winter or early spring next year so that they can begin not only the hiring process, but the planning process. You can think of all of the safety issues, the curriculum issues, in addition to the hiring issues that need to take place, and that'll take them better than a year to get that done. Then right behind that, we'll hire the middle school principal as well. So we'll begin the hiring process for the fall of 2021 in the late winter, early spring of 2020.
2020, that's not all that far away, right?
It's going to go fast.
Well, there's a lot of talk about redrawing the school boundaries. How is that progressing right now?
But right now, there's no controversy, but we haven't started talking about moving kids around. And when we do that, there'll be a ton of emotion that goes into that. So what we want to do, Perry, is bring as much logic to that issue as we can. I think we learned a great deal by putting our strategic plan together and by putting the bond issue together on issues like that have a strategic nature to them, of bringing our community together, and we'll do that in this instance. We'll have a task force made up of the community members that we'll put together second semester of this coming year. But we'll also have community meetings to take out to folks what we're finding out and what we're hearing. And then hopefully in April of 2020, we'll bring the initial drafts to the Board of Education. And over about a 2-month period, they'll have an opportunity to see what makes sense for our community. We'll announce those new boundaries then next summer, in the summer of 2020, a year in advance of anybody having to make any changes in their building attendance.
How will the two new schools, Jefferson High School and Ben Rifle Middle School, how will they impact open enrollment?
Should positively impact. You know, we're so full right now in our high schools specifically that you're hard pressed to be able to go to a school other than the one that is the one you're currently attending. When we open up Thomas Jefferson High School, that's also going to open up opportunities. So I think students will have an opportunity at that point, most likely to be able to go to the high school of their choice in the city of Sioux Falls. I would say something very similar will happen with Ben Rifle Middle School as well. It's just going to open up capacity within the buildings that are currently full.
Mm-hmm. Lost in a lot of the new construction is that there's still a new elementary school on the horizon too, right?
Yeah, you know, you're the first person to ask me about that in a long, long time. So last September it was new high school, new middle school, new elementary school, and a lot of renovations. Mm-hmm. Well, we've made progress on the new high school and the new middle school, and the new elementary school has kind of fallen off the radar, so thanks for bringing that back up.
What are we looking at for a new elementary school?
Yeah, I think the task force said that we needed to have one open by 2024, so we may accelerate that, but we'll certainly have one open by 2024. We don't currently have the land for that. We don't currently know exactly where that will go. Mm-hmm. But we have not forgotten our commitment to the community that we will build an elementary school in this process.
Quickly, only about 30 seconds left. The district recently approved a new 10-year opt-out. Explain how that money, where that money goes.
The thing I would say there is the opt-out really takes our current opt-out situation and changes from 2 large opt-outs to a series of opt-outs. It won't increase the amount of money that we're asking the community to commit to. It just changes the manner in which we get that money.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Maher.
Thank you.
Good luck for the new school year.
Thanks a lot. Pleasure to be on.
Well, still to come on Inside KELOLAND, thousands of families need your help to prepare for the first day of school, how you can help them get the clothes and supplies they need after the break. Welcome back to Inside KELOLAND. Right now, thousands of families are buying school supplies and clothes for the new school year, but for some families, back-to-school shopping can be a difficult time. Joining us now is Darcy Jensen with Prairie View Prevention Services to talk about an upcoming event to help families in need. Thanks for joining us, Darcy.
Thank you for having me.
Well, tell us about this big event which is taking place on August 17th with Celebrating Families.
It's my favorite time of the year, actually. Celebrating Families Back to School, we started the event about 18 years ago, so it's been ongoing for several years. What we really do is look at how can we help families successfully get back to school with their son or daughter. What are the things they need? What information do they need? We'll have 22 vendors there, many of them talking about, how do you get on the bus? What's the bus route? You might need to know some health issues. We have someone who will be doing health checks for them. Vision, do we need to have our vision checked? We'll have oral health tips, many, many fun things to do. Face painting, ambulance, fire trucks, police department, all kinds of fun activities. And in addition, the thing everybody stands in line for are the free socks and underwear.
Sure, yeah, that's the big draw. And this year it's been a little tough getting those just due to circumstances beyond your control. Talk about that a little bit.
We have had some difficulties this year. We were one of the agencies or businesses that had the floodwaters enter our building, and that got some of our supplies soaked and unable to use. And then we also have always used Shopco's as part of our donation spots for donating, and they are no longer here in Sioux Falls, and so we don't have those spots any longer to help us out with that collection.
So what kind of things are you looking for? The need is really great this year. What kind of things are you looking to collect then as far as?
We need socks and underwear, whether it's big girls, big boys, little boys. We need the socks. There's just simple packages, and packages of the boxers are usually what the boys like best. And those are the things we need for anywhere from size 4 up to 16, 18. We have whole families come to this event, and we welcome that. Anyone who's in the Sioux Empire, so anyone who's listening to this program is welcome to come for those socks and underwear. Right now we're at about $2,000 worth of products for everyone, and we really need about $10,000. So we are very short. Yeah. Last year we served close to 1,000 kids, and when you think of, we want them to not have to pick, do I get new socks or do I get new underwear? We want them to feel like they can have either. They can have both.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't think there is a need. People think, well, you need backpacks and school supplies, but they don't necessarily think of items like underwear and socks, right?
Right. One of the things we know, and I working in the area of prevention, know that when kids feel like they fit in and belong in a community, we see less use of substances. One of the things we do is that when they do start school, that they feel like everyone else. They may have that new backpack thanks to SOS, but we also want them to have the socks and underwear, so they're like everyone else starting the new school year with the things that they need. If you price the socks and underwear right now, it is something that can sometimes, if you have 2 or 3 kids, really be a budget buster. Yeah. So this is a way to help those people who need it, those families who need that, and be part of the community.
Yeah. What's it like when you see the faces of these kids getting all these supplies?
It's my Christmas. It's my Christmas in August. I truly believe that. Every year there's one of those little ones I see, and it makes my heart just overflowing. Last year there was a little girl who first got her free bicycle helmet. We also have free bicycle helmets. She had that strapped on. She had her princess underwear under her arm, and she was marching in because we have free lunch. And so there she went to eat her hot dog, and it was one of those things that just warms your heart and gives you a smile. She felt like she belonged in this community of Sioux Falls, that people cared about her. And when you have that feeling, we see less substance use. And that's really why this is a primary prevention activity. It shows people in our community that we care and we're going to be there for them, and they're part of our community.
And you need volunteers to help out with this event. Tell us about that.
We still need some volunteers to help us with sorting the socks and underwear, help with getting people their lunches and getting them set down as they're eating and going through the vendors. If you're interested in being a volunteer, we do have a short form for you to fill out. You call our office, 331-5724. Ask for Tracy. She will get you one of the forms, and then we can see if you're a fit for what we have available.
Give us an idea again, how can people donate?
They can donate either coming to our Facebook page, Celebrating Families, and there's a donate right there. They can do that. So rather do cash than go shopping, please feel free to use that. Otherwise, they can go to any one of our Lewis stores in Sioux Falls. There's donation boxes, big boxes sitting right by the front doors. They can drop off anything there or at Prairie View.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Darcy.
Thank you.
And that's not the only way you can make sure every student is ready for the first day of school. Project SOS is still taking school supply donations this week. Organizers ask all donations be dropped off by August 9th. However, they will still take a few donations leading up to the distribution date. Some items Project SOS still needs include wide-ruled notebooks, wide-ruled filler paper, and kindergarten through 4th grade backpacks. You can drop off donations at the banquet in Sioux Falls along East 8th Street. Volunteers will pack the donations on Friday, August 16th. Families can then pick up the school supplies on Saturday, August 17th at Whittier Middle School from 9 to 4. Well, if you can't make it to Project SOS giveaway, the Barrel House in Sioux Falls is holding its own school supply drive. On Sunday, August 18th, students in need can pick up free backpacks and school supplies. The giveaway starts at 3 o'clock and lasts until everything is gone. And for all of your back-to-school needs, remember to check out our special back-to-school page at KELOLAND.com. You can find your child's school supply list and when the first day of school is. And remember to send us your child's back-to-school pictures. They may appear in our online gallery or even on air. Well, still to come on Inside KELOLAND.
It's much more than a name change. This is really a different approach to how we're doing customized training in Sioux Falls.
It is also back to school time for colleges and universities. We take you inside the new community college in Sioux Falls after the break. Last month, the Community College for Sioux Falls officially opened. The goal is to offer higher education for non-traditional and adult students. KELOLAND News intern Lauren Solek spoke with the dean of the college and the Sioux Falls Chamber of Commerce about the excitement surrounding the new school.
The Community College for Sioux Falls has been preparing for its grand reopening for 6 months.
I'm really excited that we know who we are and we know the students that we serve, and we're ready to do that.
The University of South Dakota has been the leading effort. The partnership also includes South Dakota State University and Dakota State University. Students will be able to declare which school is their home institution. Their college credits will be generated through that school.
And those credits can transfer to any of the BOR institutions in the state, or really to any accredited institution in the United States.
Simone says the Community College for Sioux Falls will close the gap between universities and tech schools in the state.
In between, you'll find an area where students will come where maybe they're not sure what they want to study, maybe they're not sure college is really for them, and they're a bit intimidated by going to a university, but don't really have a career focus that they want to pursue at the Technical Institute. That's where the community colleges come to play, where we help students gain confidence and we put them on a pathway to education.
The Community College for Sioux Falls will be the first community college in the state.
At the rate we're growing, we need every education asset that we can develop here in town. This is a major step forward for Sioux Falls.
Now, with the first day of school just a few weeks away, now is a good time to get your kids back into a regular sleep schedule. KELOLAND's Sophie Heineman shows us the best ways to make that transition.
The school year is creeping up for kids in KELOLAND, and that means sleeping in followed by time at the park is limited. Laura Parrish is a school nurse at Lincoln High School who says right now is a good time to start working on a back-to-school bedtime schedule, no matter your child's age.
Kids are being kids and they're having fun and having a summer. So starting that transition early and not just putting it on them, you know, even the week before school, is key.
In addition to incorporating an earlier bedtime, Avera Health Family Life educator Patricia Bates says parents should also start waking kids up earlier.
And just moving back that bedtime 10 to 15 minutes and then, you know, stick to that for 3 or 4 days, and then if you need to move it back another 10 to 15 minutes, you know, and then stick to that for like a week, so that way you're moving it back slowly.
If your child is struggling to fall asleep, she says blackout shades and a nutritious meal can make bedtime a little easier. Experts say children who aren't getting enough sleep before school tend to have lower grades and act out more often than others.
We have kids that come to school, they are falling asleep in the classroom, their heads down, sometimes some increased behaviors. And they'll flat out say, oh, well, I was up all night.
Whether it's playing video games or scrolling through social media, Bates recommends a cutoff time for all electronic devices to make falling asleep easier.
No screens like an hour before bed. That blue light really gets your brain alert and stimulated. Making sure there's not a lot of bright lights, no bright light, blue light in the room at night.
She says implementing routines such as brushing teeth and then reading a book every night can help your teen create that habit of getting to bed on time.
It's important to get them on a sleep schedule to ensure that they're getting enough sleep to be productive in the classroom. Not only productive in the classroom, but behaviors.
With HealthBeat, I'm Sophie Heineman.
Now, the Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends kids ages 6 to 12 regularly sleep 9 to 12 hours, and teenagers aged 13 to 18 should sleep 8 to 10 hours per night. Well, that is all the time we have. You can find out more about today's topics at KELOLAND.com. Join us every Sunday following the 10 o'clock news right here on KELOLAND TV. Have a great night, everyone.